The Afghan government is initiating certain solid reforms that facilitates a conducive environment for doing business in Afghanistan. And of course, one of the initiatives the Afghan government has taken is the development of national trade policy. And the national trade policy was one of the important documents which was supposed to be there during the last 15 years. We are soon going to have a national trade policy which is going to be more focused on the increase in production and on export promotion, giving access to the markets, and also encouraging the production of high quality goods in Afghanistan. The national trade policy is going to help us to reduce and balance the unacceptable trade deficit, and help us to be a producing and exporting country. The good thing with the designing and the development of the trade policy is that it was a solid public-private partnership, as a result of a strong consultation with the private sector and considering the inputs and comments of the private sector, suggestions of the private sector, we are coming up with a comprehensive and implementable practical trade policy. ITC's role was very much appreciated, not only in the development of the national trade policy, but also in the development of the national export strategy. And without the technical assistance of ITC, we would not have been successful enough to have efficient consultation roundtables with the private sector on the development of the national trade policy. Now we are waiting the document to be technically finalized. Once it's endorsed by the High Economic Council or the Cabinet, it's going to be implementable. We always had documents, comprehensive documents in terms of policies and strategies, but when we looked into the implementation of that, we didn't have enough done. The first thing we are going to do is we need to do a lot of awareness raising among the private sector. Eventually it's the private sector who is going to be benefiting from this policy, and it's going to be implemented on them. So I would also urge the private sector to give high importance to this document and utilize the benefits of this into their day-to-day activities. So following this document, they are going to have a competitive and successful business and going to have access to the regional international markets and be successful exporters.
The intervention of the ITC, a joint technical agency of the United Nations and World Trade Organization, was made possible with funding from the European Union under the Advancing Afghan Trade Project.